Hello everyone and welcome to another Pyro Gaming video. It's a new week, which means there are new roles. Let's get started with the Crucible Quartermaster. First up, we have the 0-Day Dilemma Auto Rifle. I just bumped my microphone mount there. Sorry for that. This auto rifle comes with hidden hand, braced frame, appended magazine, battle runner, and danger close. This is not a terrible option, honestly. If you're a fan of this rate of fire to impact ratioed auto rifle, I would say pick this one up and give it a shot. This is not bad at all. Moving on to our next weapon, we have the B29 Party Favor Pulse Rifle with glass half full, perfect balance, lightweight, outlaw, and partial refund. Again, not terrible, not a god roll by any means, but if you want a workhorse pulse rifle, this could potentially be it. I would say pick that one up, try it out. Next up, we have the Hero Formula Scout Rifle, Firefly, small bore, explosive rounds, Eye of the Storm, and who's next? Good. You lost me. I'm going to say pass on this one. There are better options for scout rifles this week. So moving on to the Palindrome, we have Hidden Hand, Hammer Forged, Lightweight, Relentless Tracker, and Last Resort. Sight options, we have True Sight IS, Fast Draw, and Quick Draw. I would say if you want a hand cannon that has really strong target acquisition, this is going to be one that will, for the simple fact that it has Hidden Hand and True Sight IS. Both of those combined on this particular hand cannon makes for very sticky sights. But other than that, I would say pass on this one. We can probably do better next week. Next up, we have the Each New Day Fusion Rifle with Counterbalance, Small Bore, Accelerated Coils, Battle Runner, and Icarus. So you had me here. Counterbalance is always one of my favorite perks to have on fusion rifles. Small bore, I would rather have hand-laid stock, but small bore is still pretty good. But you lose me over here. I would say run Battle Runner, but that's not... I don't know. I think we could do better. 2 out of 3 just doesn't do it for me. So I'm going to pass on that one this week. The 44 Curtain Call Shotgun with Rangefinder, Rifled Barrel, Lightweight, Cascade, and Army of One. Do we have a range bonus here? We do not. So, this thing's going to have really good range. So, this is going to be more of a PvP shotgun. And I would probably run something like Cascade here and try to damage somebody with this weapon. And then get in close enough to get a melee so that I can get some free special back without having to go pull a box. But other than that, this is going to be this is kind of a novelty roll on this archetype of shotgun. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. I personally would pass on it, but that's just because I'm not a Crucible guy. But if you are a Crucible guy, who knows, maybe you like that. So, let's look at the ANTON'S roll sidearm that comes with Hot Swap, Fitted Stock, High Caliber Rounds, Zen Moment, and Feeding Frenzy. So there's a couple of different ways that you can go with sidearms. You can go with a stability build or you can go with a range build. I prefer stability, but I also don't like sidearms. So because I prefer stability, I'm going to say that this one's pretty damn good. You have Hot Swap, which is always fun to have on sidearms because you can draw those so quickly. And that's going to give you a little bit more stability here. You have Fitted Stock, which increases your stability, but I'm not going to use this one in this perk slot. I'm going to use High Caliber Rounds to stagger my enemies in the Crucible. And the reason that I'm picking High Caliber over this is because it has Zen Moment, which is going to give me even more stability. So all in all, if you want a stable, hard-hitting sidearm, definitely pick this one up. That's a nice roll. Event Horizon, my favorite sniper in the game. Hidden Hand, Casket Mag, Skip Rounds, Triple Tap, and Mulligan. So this is not going to be for Crucible. This is going to be for PvE. Hidden Hand, Casket Mag's going to bump your magazine up to 4. Triple Tap, if you land all precisions with those 4 shots, you're going to have a 5-round magazine with a very high-impact sniper rifle. This could potentially be very fun in PvE, so for those PvE guys that like to raid and all that stuff, I would definitely say pick up this Event Horizon this week, because it is a fucking mini Black Spindle. So let's see, we have Chaotic Neutral Machine Gun. Taking a look at it, we have Hidden Hand, Perfect Balance, Rifled Barrel, and Unflinching Spray and Play. This is going to be more Well, I guess you could use this in both PvE and PvP, but I'm going to say more towards PvE because it has spray and play. So unflinching is a pretty underwhelming perk, honestly. Spray and play is going to come in handy in PvE. Just hold down the trigger, let it run out of ammo, and you're going to have a little bit quicker reload time. That's always nice. Perfect balance is great. Rifled barrel's even pretty good. And hidden hand's always just, I mean, it's hidden hand. It's awesome. So I would say pick this one up for PvE. PvP, you probably want to pass on it. It's not really made for you. And lastly, we have the Something Wicked rocket launcher that comes with tripod, javelin, quick draw, battle runner, and army of one. So javelin, tripod, very good perks, but you lose me over here. And 2 out of 3 does not cut it for me. I'm going to say go ahead and pass on this week. Moving on to New Monarchy, taking a look at the Assembly 2 auto rifle, which is the Arminius D archetype of auto rifle, which, by the way, the gunsmith is selling an Arminius D package this week for those of you who want one. This bad boy comes with counterbalance, perfect balance, crowd control, high caliber rounds, and hip fire. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you are a fan of this archetype of auto rifle, this is a must-own perk roll. Counterbalance, increased stability. Perfect balance, increased stability. High caliber rounds on this archetype, you're going to be staggering enemies left and right in the Crucible. This, by the way, is a Crucible weapon. It is not a PvE weapon at all. So for you Crucible guys that like the Arminius D archetype, this is going to be a lot of fun for you, and you will thank me later. Pick this one up for sure. Next up, we have the Free Will 3 hand cannon with Luck in the Chamber, perfect balance, hot swap, explosive rounds, and hip fire. This one is not terrible. It's got Luck in the Chamber, which is always fun on hand cannons in the Crucible. Perfect balance, which is always great to have. But where it's lacking is I'm not seeing any significant boost to range. And on this high rate of fire, lower impact archetype of hand cannon, you really want to get some range out of it, man. I mean, you kind of want to play it close as much as you can, but there's going to be some situations in Crucible where you need that extra range, and this one just doesn't have it. So I'm going to say pick this one up as a novelty weapon. It's going to be fun to use with explosive rounds and Luck in the Chamber, but as far as practicality, it's just not going to have it for me. So I'm going to pass. Next up, we have the Impreacher 5 sidearm with rangefinder, fitted stock, army of one, and high caliber rounds and lightweight. So this one's pretty decent. You have a boost to range, you have a boost to stability, and you have high caliber rounds to stagger your enemies. I would say that this is about even with the one that we just saw from the Crucible. It's also the same archetype, so I mean, it's just whatever you want. If you want to go for range, pick up this one. If you want to, go for more stability, pick up the Crucible one. But both of them are really solid rolls for sidearms. So next up, the Bad Counsel shotgun with full auto, hammer forged, cascade, extended mag, and hipfire. PvE shotgunners. Not Crucible. This is not a Crucible weapon. PvE shotgunners. Pick this up. This is going to be a lot of fun. Full auto plus extended mag. You're going to have a 6-round magazine that you can just go ba 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 with. This is a pretty high rate of fire to impact ratio, so I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hammer forged. Let's see what we have over here. Oh yeah, accurized. Absolutely. Pick this one up for all you PvE shotgunners. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually going to pick one of these up myself. Next up, we have the Deposition 7 sniper rifle. Same archetype as Patience and Time. Take a knee, which is okay. It's not terrible on snipers. Hammer forged, triple tap, skip rounds, and snapshot. This one's tough, man. This one's tough. I'm going to pass on this one because I'm not a fan of this archetype. I prefer the higher impact archetypes. But if you like this archetype of sniper rifle, this could potentially have some good options in both PvE and PvP. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say. It's up to you guys. I would pass on it, but that's just me. If you like that archetype, go for it. Next up, we have the bullet hose machine gun known as the First Citizen that comes with Persistence, Hammer Forged, Feeding Frenzy, Extended Mag, and Snapshot. This could be a potentially good option for PvE and PvP as well. Persistence isn't going to do you much justice in Crucible, but in PvE it will be pretty good. Hammer Forged is good all around. That's definitely what I would go for here. And Extended Mag is going to bump your magazine size up to probably around 90, which is pretty fun. So that's going to give you a shitload of rounds in Crucible when you pick up a heavy box, and in PvE, it's just going to be straight up spray and play, or spray and pray. Just hold down that trigger, let persistence proc, you'll have a good time. For this archetype, this is actually a pretty good roll. I would say pick it up if you like it. Taking a look at Dead Orbit's weapons for the week, we have the Extremophile with Rangefinder, Perfect Balance, Rodeo, Armor-Piercing Rounds, and Snapshot. This is not the most favorable archetype of auto rifles, but for this archetype, this is a great roll. So if you like the Extremophile, or anything similar to the Extremophile, I would say pick this one up and try it out in Crucible, because you probably have a good time with it, man. This isn't bad at all. So moving on to our next weapon, we have the Keystone 01 with Firefly, Hammer Forged, Unflinching, Armor Piercing, and Snapshot. The one that we had last week was much better than this, so I'm going to say pass on this one this week. We can definitely do better than that. Moving on to the Worlds to Come Fusion Rifle, Hot Swap, Hammer Forged, Performance Bonus, Enhanced Battery, and Snapshot. This is going to be a good Crucible option, man. Hot Swap is actually really good in Crucible. I think it's underrated. Not a lot of people are using it. It's actually very, very good. Hammer Forged, always great to have on a fusion rifle. Performance bonus, also a great option for Crucible. You get a kill in the Crucible with this weapon, you could potentially get a free round or two. Enhanced battery increases magazine size, and Snapshot, also very good. So pick it up if you like Crucible fusions, man. That could be a fun one. The Last Ditch 001 Shotgun, Rangefinder, Small Bore, Surrounded, Extended Mag, Lightweight. These two are really good on shotguns for Crucible, but you kind of lose me over here. These are more aimed towards Crucible perks, and Extended Mag's not really going to do you much justice in the Crucible with the current special ammo economy. So for that, I would say go ahead and pick up Lightweight, run Small Bore, and Rangefinder, and this could be a decent option in the Crucible. PvE, pass. Crucible, try it out. Bitter Edge. Take a Knee, Small Bore, Life Support, Explosive Rounds, Lightweight. Trash, don't touch it. Unto Dust, Grenades and Horseshoes, Spray and Play, Perfect Balance, Field Scout, and Lightweight. What do we have over here? We got a pretty nice boost to boost to velocity, but we lose some blast radius. So for that, I'm going to pass. Grenades and Horseshoes is good for Crucible, but with the velocity the way that it is, and sacrificing blast radius to increase our velocity, I'm going to say this is an absolute pass on all fronts. So moving on to Future War Cult. Let's see what we have here with the Whale Hand Cannon. Luck in the Chamber, Perfect Balance, Third Eye, High Caliber Rounds, and Hip Fire. This is probably going to be your best option for a hand cannon this week. This has the same archetype as Palindrome, and with a 7-round magazine, you're going to have a lot of fun with Luck in the Chamber. It's going to proc much more consistently than something like Palindrome with a 9-round magazine. Perfect Balance, never a bad perk on hand cannons. High Caliber Rounds, again, never a bad perk on hand cannons when you can stagger your enemies in Crucible. So Crucible, guys, I'm going to say go ahead and pick this one up. This is a great hand cannon for Crucible. PvE, I'm going to say go ahead and pass on that. Moving on to the Waltz Pulse Rifle, we have Rodeo, Perfect Balance, Eye of the Storm, Armor Piercing Rounds, and Hip Fire. Go with the B29 Party Favor, guys. It's better than this one this week. Pass on the Waltz. Next up, we have the Waiting Fusion Rifle with Rangefinder, Small Bore, Knee Pads, Accelerated Coils, and Lightweight. You had me here, you had me here, you lost me here. I'm going to say pass on this. If you want this archetype of fusion rifle with really good perks, go grind Archon's Forge, and you can get a Saladin's Vigil that just destroys that thing. It's so good. Next up, we have the Wounded Scout Rifle with Zen Moment, Small Bore, Triple Tap, Extended Mag, and Lightweight. So for all you Crucible guys, this is going to be a hard pass for you, but for all you PvE players, this is going to be a good one to have. Zen Moment is a great perk on Scout Rifles, gives you increased stability just by doing damage to an enemy. You combine that with Extended Mag, which is going to bump your magazine size up to about 18, and then add Triple Tap, which divide 18 by 3, you get 6. Add that to 18, you have a potentially 24-round magazine before you have to reload. This is going to be a lot of fun in PvE, so I would definitely say pick this one up, but it is not the best Scout Rifle that we will see this week, guys. I will go ahead and say that. It's definitely good, though. If you're a fan of this archetype, which is like the Treads Upon Stars, Vision of Confluence archetype of Scout, This would be a very good one to have. Next up, the Wormwood sidearm that comes with rangefinder, hand-loaded, Zen moment, high caliber rounds, and snapshot. You have a boost to range, you have a boost to stability, you have high caliber rounds to stagger. And this is the higher impact archetype. And on this archetype, man, this is a very, very good roll for Crucible and PvE. So if you're a fan of sidearms, pick this bad boy up and you will not be disappointed. I can guarantee you. Moving on to the rocket launcher, the Warpath comes with cluster bomb, perfect balance, tripod, flared magwell, and lightweight. This is going to be more aimed towards PvE players with cluster bomb and tripod, but unfortunately it just doesn't have it for me over here. Lightweight could be good, flared magwell is meh, but 2 out of 3 doesn't do it for me, so for that reason I'm going to pass on this week. And lastly, we come to the Vanguard Quartermaster. Taking a look at his weapons, we have the Continental Auto Rifle with third eye, perfect balance, rifled barrel, crowd control, and danger close. I'm going to say pass on this one because the Extremophile of Dead Orbit is the same archetype, and it had better perks. Moving on to our next weapon, we have the Parthenon Shot Parthenon Shot Pulse Rifle with glass half full, small bore, lightweight, secret round, and partial refund. This one's pretty good, this one's pretty good, but you lose me over here, and 2 out of 3 doesn't justify spending 150 legendary marks when there are better options. I'm going to pass. Angel's Advocate, the crown jewel of this week's vendor weapons. This bad boy has a perfect fucking Fatebringer roll with Outlaw, explosive rounds, and Firefly. Although I would recommend running Outlaw, Small Bore, and Firefly, which is going to reduce your magazine size to 12 rounds, but with Outlaw, you reload so fast, it's not even going to be an issue, guys. It's not even going to be a problem, I promise you. Range Lens, this is the Vision of Confluence sights that looks just so sexy. Everybody loved it. This right here, guys, is one of the best vendor weapons that I have ever seen in my 2.5 years in Destiny. You should absolutely pick this up. I made a whole video about it yesterday. You should absolutely get this, honestly. I've already bought 3 of them on Xbox. I plan to buy 3 of them on PlayStation. It is that fucking good. So next up, we have the How Dare You hand cannon. Rangefinder, rifle barrel, explosive rounds, relentless tracker, partial refund. This is almost the exact same roll that we saw at New Monarchy, so for that reason, I'm going to pass. Moving on to the X-Astris Fusion Rifle. Hidden Hand, Small Bore, Accelerated Coils, Battle Runner, and Underdog. Hidden Hand's great, Small Bore's great, but you lose me over here. We don't do 2 out of 3. Next up, Teacup Tempest. Rangefinder, Snapshot, High Caliber Rounds, Relentless Tracker, and Cascade. We have seen some great sidearm rolls in this video for this week, so go get one of the other ones. They're much better than this one. Pass on the Teacup. OCCAM'S Razor Shotgun, Crowd Control, Rifle Barrel, Perfect Balance, Cascade, and Battle Runner. If you want a shotgun this week, go get the one from New Monarchy or Dead Orbit. Don't mess with this one. 7th Sense Sniper Rifle, Hidden Hand, Skip Rounds, Perfect Balance, Army of One, Perfectionist. It's trash. Don't mess with it. Bone Crusher Machine Gun with Crowd Control, Braced Frame, Appended Magazine, Life Support, and Take a Knee. This is going to be a Crucible option, man. Crowd Control, pretty good in Crucible. Braced Frame, also really good, and Life Support is going to get you out of some potential jams in Crucible as well. This archetype is a very quick killing archetype in the Crucible, so for your heavy round, this is going to be a good one to have in your inventory. I would definitely pick this one up if you are a fan of Crucible machine gunning. Moving on to our final one, disassembly required, we have Tripod, Quick Draw, Heavy Payload, Grenadier, and Army of One. This is just going to be a hard pass. We're going to wait and find a better option for rocket launchers in the future. So there you have it, guys. Those are your vendor rolls for the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Drop a comment in the box below. Let me know if you picked up that Angel's Advocate, man. I have been using that thing for a while. I did the Nightfalls with it and all that. I mean, it is just so much fun. It is such a solid scout rifle. But that's going to bring this video to an end, guys. If you enjoyed it, click like. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I fucking love you. Thank you for watching. Take care, guys.